The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Tuesday, June 8th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, the Savage One, Mr. Tony Spark. Tony, how you doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, buddy. Aside from the dang Nuggets, they lost. They were doing good, then kind of fell apart in the last few minutes last night. So they lost game one against the Suns. And then the Avs, I didn't mention yesterday because it's too tired, but they got their ass kicked by Vegas on Sunday night. Oh, yeah, for like 5-1. It was an ass kicking. So the series are tied 2-2 there. But, you know, the series still goes on. All the good series go 7 usually. So, but I'm doing well, and it's Ghostbusters Day, so happy Ghostbusters Day. If you didn't know.
Rocking your Ghostbuster shirt, I like it.
Yeah, why not? Representing it today, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, we were talking before the show, you know, we record our Proton Pack, which is our geeky, nerdy podcast that airs on Tuesdays. Recorded it yesterday, didn't even realize that today was Ghostbusters Day, so there is zero mention of it, but I think we'll talk about it on the next one.
Yeah, next week I'll wear the shirt again for that show, but I'm rocking a Captain America one in the, in the one that airs later today at 4 p.m., shameless plug, so you want geeky, nerdy, there you go, check us out. Proton Pack, man.
Well, folks, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, there was a period in time where you dated a girl who was very religious. She even got you to go to church with her. How did she get you into religion and doing all of that? What was her methodology?
Well, the one that really got me to go to church first was the cute blonde that said I should go sometime. So I went because of her one time. And then when that didn't work, I dated her sister and then started going to church. What hooked me, though, was I went to church and they had a live band. And the first song that they played was Van Halen's Right Now. And it hooked me. So every week there was a rock song. It was like AC/DC, Van Halen, Journey. There was always rock songs. I just kept going. I was like, there's a good message for God. And then there was, classic rock. And then I was going with, originally a hot blonde. Then I went with a cute blonde. And now I don't go. I don't talk to either blonde. And I don't go to church anymore. I'm such a bad young man.
But that's the way to do it, do something mass appeal, something that people will like. Don't do it this way, however. A Montgomery, Minnesota man is accused of taking an acquaintance hostage and then crashing her car in a river in Jordan, where he forced her to take off all her clothes so they could be baptized. Jared Herman, 38, is charged with second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon and terroristic threats, both felonies. According to the criminal complaint, police responded to the 500 block of Broadway Street around 6:11 after an SUV crashed into Sand Creek. Police found the victim naked in the creek. She told police Herman had taken her hostage and made her crash the car. In an interview later at the hospital, the victim said she had known Herman for about a week and had been staying at his home for the last several days, noting he was becoming increasingly unstable. She said he hadn't slept or eaten much, used some marijuana, and was drinking some alcohol. She noticed he was making odd religious statements and burned his cell phone in a fire pit, then broke hers. Then on June 2nd, Herman demanded he drive her SUV, and she went with because they planned to take his dog for a walk, she told police. Once they got in the vehicle, she became increasingly concerned about his behavior. She told police he made comments about dating and marrying her, and when she said they barely knew each other, he got upset and started damaging the inside of her vehicle, pulling off the rearview mirror and wires and throwing them out the window. He made comments about her possessions binding her and then threw her purse and duffel bag with her clothes out the window. She said she tried to compromise with him, but he became more agitated. Herman started taking his hands off the wheel, telling the victim he'd done this before and crashed 2 cars. He talked about Jesus and veered into oncoming traffic as they entered the city of Jordan. And she grabbed the wheel so they didn't crash. Herman then asked, "What are you doing? God's got us. Don't you have faith?" She pleaded with Herman to stop, but he didn't, charges say. He tried to drive into a tree, but she pulled the wheel, and they narrowly missed crashing into a truck when she pulled the wheel again. Herman continued to make statements like, "What are you doing? God's in control. We're going to Jesus. Trust in Jesus. We're doing this." Ultimately, they ended up in the creek. He stripped her naked, tried baptizing her. Sounds like this guy is truly mentally unstable, and anything that he has to do with religion, I would want nothing to do with at least what he believes in.
Yeah, see, he's one of the kooky ones. Like, that shit's just scary.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I there's so many puns. There's like the Carrie Underwood, Jesus take the wheel, reach over and grab it. Yeah, somebody did that. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Talk about a bad date, going bad. Like, her first clue, she shouldn't have gone out with a dude named Herman. I'm sorry.
Well, not only that, but I mean, she's crashing on his couch.
Hey, Dottie, Jesus has got the wheel. You're into the magic word, baptized in the creek.
It just sounded doomed to begin with. Luckily, nobody got truly hurt. He got arrested and is hopefully off the street for quite a long time.
Well, Jesus definitely took the wheel for that dude, huh? Good Lord, man. That's nuts.
It is Tuesday, and we've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
This is Taco Tuesday!
Those sound good.
They do sound good.
On Tuesdays, we've got Animal Tales sponsored by roughriders.org.
Rough Riders!
We have another edition of Strange But True. This time, it is all about the human body. And then we close out the day with This Day in History. So, folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo! Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIXmedia.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. We've got a little thing we talk about a couple times each show. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys, the listeners and watchers, an opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you tried baptism by fire, almost quite literally. We want to hear about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RADIO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, it is Tuesday, and as we do on Tuesdays, we've got Animal Tales sponsored by roughriders.org. Now, Rough Riders is a local 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the transport of dogs from the rural outlying shelters where they may not have a chance into the more metro northern Nevada area here, where they work with local shelters, dog rescues to find them homes, give them a second chance at life. If you want more information, head over to roughriders.org. That's RUFF-riders.org, or on Facebook at facebook.com/roughriderssaves. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into Animal Tales.
Dogs and the cats, they take up the middle where the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, the donkey brays and the pony neighs, the old grey badger sighs.
Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with the big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo.
The cow says, moo. All right, let's go ahead and get into our first story here in Animal Tales. You know, last week we talked about the dog that turned himself into the police department. Well, this dog had a similar outing. A St. Anne, Missouri doggy daycare had an unexpected visitor last week when a dog who frequents the fun establishment decided he wanted to go back. Surveillance footage from inside Happy Tales Pet Hotel and Playland captured Hugo, a dog that lives more than a mile from the daycare.
Hello, Hugo!
I think that's Kubo. Excitedly bursting through the front door and looking for friends to play with. It's scary to think of Hugo running more than a mile across some busy streets and medians to get to school, but luckily he arrived safely, and since employees knew the excited pup, he was quickly reunited with his family. And luckily it did happen during the day, so it wasn't like the dog arrived there at night, had to make the journey all the way back home. But you know what? If a dog enjoys a place enough, he'll find his way to get there for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Dogs, they're just great. They just find all of their own little adventures, and they, like you had told us, I think it was last week, where Tahoe had gotten out and then ended up just right back at the front porch.
Yeah.
Went on a little gallivanting adventure, but came right back home. Exactly.
Yeah, and we had no idea, just opened the door, and there he was. So needless to say, they are smart, and, well, some are smarter than others. I know a few dogs that when they get out, there's no coming back. They'll take off forever. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next story here in Animal Tales. Well, a herd of 15 wild elephants that walked 300 miles from a nature reserve in China's mountains southwest were approaching the major city of Kunming on Wednesday as authorities rushed to try and keep them out of populated areas. China's wildlife authorities say they don't know why the herd left a nature reserve last year near the city of Pure, a region known for tea cultivation. The group was 16 animals, but the government says 2 returned home and a baby was born during the walk. Authorities had blocked traffic on roads while the elephants crossed and were setting up barriers and using food as bait to try and keep them away from Kunming and other populated areas. On Wednesday, the herd was in Yuxi, about 20 miles from Kunming, a city of 7 million people. It said images taken by drones used to track the herd show 6 females and 3 male adults, 3 juveniles, and 3 calves. Chen Mingyang, an Asian elephant expert cited by Xinhao, said the incident was the longest distance migration of wild elephants recorded in China. Chen said it was possible their leader lacks experience and led the whole group astray. Could you imagine just cruising through your city, Tone? Maybe you're in Denver, obviously something about that size, and all of a sudden a herd of elephants just comes walking right in front of your car.
No, that would be random. I would think we were in Jumanji at that point.
Oh, absolutely. You'd be looking
more so than last year, but like totally, that would just be wild. A herd of elephants going through.
Yeah, you'd be looking for those killer wasps and
and all that. Yeah,
the monkeys that are stealing cop cars. It would be just the strangest thing to see, I'm sure.
Peter Rabbit be running around with his little savage group of bunnies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's keep rolling on with animal tales. This one just for you, Tone. Somebody call Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel
Jackson.
I'm gonna try that from the beginning.
Samuel.
Somebody call Samuel L. Jackson. Mechanics at an airplane storage facility in Southern California desert have found parked jets crawling with rattlesnakes.
Nope.
And they're using a high-tech tool to battle the venomous rattlers, broom handles.
Nope.
Thousands of planes put out of use by the pandemic-fueled travel downturn have been sitting idly in hangars in the American Southwest for much of the past year. Qantas Airlines mechanics at a Victorville, California storage facility 2 hours outside of Los Angeles have found many of their craft crawling with scorpions and Mojave rattlesnakes in and around the wheel wells. The area is well known for its feisty rattlers who love to curl up around the warm rubber tires and in the aircraft wheels and brakes, reported Tim Haywood, a Qantas engineer executive, in a press release. Every aircraft has its own designated wheel whacker, a purposed broom handle, as part of the engineering kit, complete with each aircraft's registration written on it. As the pandemic crippled global travel, airlines around the world stored or retired thousands of aircraft in what are known as airplane graveyards in the deserts of Southern California and Arizona. Many of those aircraft have since returned to ferrying passengers, but hundreds of the largest aircraft, including giant double-decker Airbus A380 jets used for long-haul travel, remain mothballed in these desert facilities. The aircraft are carefully monitored even while in storage, with mechanics taking special care now to watch for slithering creatures. That's your ideal job, right, Tone?
Totally.
How about no? You make like a tree and get out of here.
Hell no.
Yeah, just like Indiana Jones, you're not a big fan of the snakes, huh?
No. I hate snakes. I don't have the soundbite for that, but snakes. Why is it always going to be snakes? Yeah, no.
With as well as those planes are monitored and people with the broom handles shooing off snakes, you would have to imagine at least one gets through, gets somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah.
And what if you're on a plane and all of a sudden one of those guys comes slithering through? Oh,
dude, but especially rattlers. You know, it's one thing, it's just snakes, you know, like there's a lot of bull snakes here in Colorado, and now that it's hot, they're slithering. You see them across the road slithering when you're driving and stuff. Pretty common, you know. But rattlesnakes, man, yeah, you don't mess around with them. And in Arizona, man, they got all kinds of snakes.
Yeah.
Even the deadly trouser snakes. Ooh, those are the most fierce of them all. You know, at times they can be very venomous. But no, see, in all seriousness, dude, even if it was like the most harmless snake, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I hate snakes.
Yeah. Most snakes don't bother me, but rattlers for sure. You know, they're terrifying. Yeah. And, you know, we get our fair share here in northern Nevada as well. So.
Yes, absolutely, man. I've encountered a rattler or two in my life.
Oh.
Not a fun situation, man. Not a fun one. Scary.
And then let's finally move on to our final story here in Animal Tales. This one would have been another scary thing. A teenager remains in critical condition after a breaching whale landed on top of his boat off Narooma, off the south coast of New Zealand over the weekend. The 18-year-old man was fishing alongside a 39-year-old skipper on Sunday morning when the whale surfaced from beneath the boat and crashed down onto the small vessel. The pair issued a mayday signal before managing to navigate back to the boat ramp. Paramedics met the vessel at the boat ramp and treated both men for serious head injuries before taking them to the hospital for emergency treatment. The younger man was later airlifted from Marua Hospital to Canberra Hospital, where he remains in critical but stable condition, while the older man was treated at Marua Hospital for facial lacerations and a concussion. According to a crowdfunding page set up to support the 18-year-old's family, the teenager is suffering a broken neck and severe head injuries. So even when you're out on the sea, out on a boat, you figure no sharks are around, out of the water pops a giant whale that crashes down on your boat. Still terrifying. I mean, Mother Nature, animals, you can't account for just about everything, and certainly not that.
No, freak accidents, and that's the thing when you're out on the water. You just never know. I've seen a video of a whale breaching one time, and a guy was on a kayak, and it like flipped him. And then,
really?
That'd be just terrifying. Yeah, you just think you're nice. How terrifying would that be to get thrown way up in the air and then in the water? And most of the time you're attached because you get your seatbelt and you're to flip, and you kind of trained if you're on a kayak to, if you go under, how to flip yourself back. But I don't think you can prepare when you're going about 5 to 10 feet up in the air then in. So
whales
scary,
are
man.
smart enough that they see the boats, so they know what they're doing. And so
yeah.
It might have been a mama whale that maybe the boat was encroaching into the young territory. Who knows? But either way, just be careful, be aware.
Scary, especially when you're just fishing, man. Like that's something I would expect fishing out in the sea. But when you're out in the ocean, man, you're in their world, and you just never know.
Exactly. Well, folks, that does it for Animal Tales. When we come back, we've got Strange But True, Human Body Edition. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now you can also enjoy us from the comfort of your own couch or on the go with the NGBN.TV app, which is available on your smart TV or your mobile device. Just download the NGBN.TV app, search for the Fenix Media channel, and you can get this great show and other great Fenix Media shows as well. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony Spark. That's SPARK 81, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now in this segment, we're revisiting an old favorite titled Strange. Where typically we talk about things throughout history that are unusual, but true, obviously based on the name. In this case, we are doing the human body edition, which basically means that, we're going to be learning facts about the human body that are unusual. And, I can't absolutely speak to the accuracy of these, but, we're just going to take them at face value and have a little fun with it. Are you
face
ready?
value is not bad. Yeah, I'm ready to explore some strange body facts. Why not?
All right. Well, this first one from a user named Truly Meaningless says, human eggs are small, but big enough to be visible with the human eye.
Strange. You say it's time to pop open a Truly.
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a Celsius energy drink brought to you by the fine folks at Celsius, who should sponsor our show today. Continue.
There you go. I thought you were, because the Truly are the alcohol ones, right?
Yeah. So I had, and the can kind of looks like it, and I figured what a cheesy little segue that could be. Yeah, no, I can't drink that. I work today.
Fair enough. Well, let's move on to the next one. Tony, you'll appreciate this username. It says, I'm a Jar Jar.
Misa Jar Jar. Oh, Annie.
Says, when doing surgery, organs don't have to be put back in the exact same position they were meant to be. Your body kind of just moves the organs into the correct position after surgery. Strange. I'd assume you have to get them at least somewhat close. You wouldn't want your heart down in your stomach and your, your liver up in your, esophagus.
I feel there's got to be a rhythm to it. So I guess as long as you're close, like you can't like take both kidneys and stick them up here. Maybe put your lung.
Who knows?
Hey, science, the way they got things going, maybe. But at face value, I would not believe it if somebody told me that. So I don't know. Face value. Face value.
I don't know. We'll take it at face value. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Let's move on to our next one. This from user Lewis is on Reddit. Says, your elbow skin is called your weenus. Also, you can pitch it as hard as you want.
Little weenus.
Strange.
So, Tony,
Such a child.
don't go around showing people your weenus.
Take a look at my weenus. You're gonna suck on this weenus like Macho Man Randy Savage. Coming up the top rope, you're gonna suck on my weenus. And that just got really strange. If you are listening, that sounded dirty and bad. But if you're watching the video, I was pointing at my elbow. Just some clarification right there.
Keeping it PG-13.
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't want to lose a viewer listening. They're like, "Ooh, he did just go a little savage on that. A little weird."
Well, let's move on with our next strange but true human body facts. This from Andy Bueller says,
Bueller.
Your brain regulates how strong your muscles are. If your leg muscles were to contract at full strength, they would snap your femur. It's why people in emergencies on adrenaline can lift cars off of children. Your body is capable of great strength, but it could also severely damage you, so your brain keeps you a weak, soft bag of jelly.
Strange.
Yeah, the brain is definitely the powerful one. It controls everything. That's nuts to think about. Could you imagine if you could access the super strength that you might possess?
You'd do a lot more damage to yourself than you'd think.
Oh yeah,
your bones aren't as strong as what your muscles could be. So
yeah,
could be scary. Could end
crazy.
Up yeah, not Let's move on with more strange facts about the human body. This from user Edgar says, humans are bioluminescent and glow in the dark, but the light that we emit is 1,000 times weaker than our human eye is able to pick up.
Strange.
That's kind of cool.
That's neat. I didn't know about that.
And I'd assume that's probably why dogs can find us in the dark really well, and other animals for that matter. It'd be awesome to find like a camera that could see that level of bioluminescence and really see what we look like glowing in the dark.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're like, you can't see me. Yeah, I can. You're glowing.
So if you're Drax or John Cena, it's all false.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving on. Human body edition of Strange But True. This one from Bitch Mom 6969.
Bitch Mom, you're a little bitch mom. 6969, bitch mom.
Says, when you cry and your nose becomes runny, it's actually your tears.
Strange.
That makes sense, because you're right. When you do cry, your nose freaking runs.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, you ever watch a little kid, like, when they get hurt, they're like, ah, then it's like, ah! It's like a
bubbles
river.
coming
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I never put that together, but it makes sense, because you're opening up your tear ducts and everything comes out like there.
Yep.
I'd buy that for $100, Alex.
I'd buy that for $1. All right, let's move on with strange body facts here on Strange But True. This from user What's His Name says, a healthy heart doesn't need a body to beat. As long as it has an oxygenated blood supply, it will just keep going with or without its owner.
Strange.
And you see that in medical dramas where they take the heart out, they have it hooked up to, pumps and stuff, and it keeps going. I would assume it needs an electrical signal as well, too, right?
Yeah, it's going to need something. I mean, they obviously do transplants and can go from one to the next. So science, man, just talent. And I'm sure it's got to be in a very, very quick setting, and everything's got to be very precise, I'd imagine, for that to work.
Yeah. But the fact that medical science has come so far from, you sneeze and they have to drill a hole in your head. Big differences.
Big difference. Big time.
Big time. The human body, another one from user Edgar says, this one's just for you, Tone. The average human erection has roughly about 130 milliliters of blood in it, while the average rabbit has about 126 milliliters of blood in its entire body. So there's more blood in a boner than in a bunny.
Strange.
It's a really weird comparison there, but, it's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
Now, is that the same amount of blood that goes in all size? Because, all rabbits are shaped differently or all sized differently.
I don't know. I would assume it's based on averages, but, the fact that we have 2 rabbits here, I don't think I'll ever look at them the same.
Yeah, you're like, haha, bunnies! It's bunny time.
Let's keep moving on. Strange but true human body facts. This from Kairu. A lot of O's on the end there. Says Alzheimer's disease isn't just gradual loss of memory. It physically exists in the brain. It's a physical substance that attacks the brain. Like if you were able to open up the skull of a person suffering from Alzheimer's disease to take a look at their brain, you would actually see this sticky, fibrous, gray physical matter overtaking their brain.
Strange.
Well, that's scary to think. But at the same time, that may be the way that science goes in curing Alzheimer. Maybe they have a way of cleaning that stuff out. Who knows?
It's sad. Just erases their memory and they don't know who they are at the end. It's sad. Very sad.
Yeah. Well, the nature of the work Jessie does, and she, helps with Alzheimer's groups and dementia groups. And so, she sees it on a regular basis. And it is sad. You do what you can to try and keep the mind sharp, but sometimes the body just doesn't let that happen.
No, sad stuff. But hey, very neat fact, though. I mean, I could see that too. Picture kind of like those little slugs from Futurama. They just sit on their head. And they're like, yeah, it's kind of like that.
Well,
just gray, not green.
Let's move on with our next one. Oh, this guy's got a great username. Elron's Cupboard instead of L. Ron Hubbard.
Elron's Cupboard.
The liver can regenerate itself. If you literally cut off 2/3 of the liver, it can regrow itself in about 2 weeks.
Strange.
Huh.
Crazy.
I knew it could regenerate itself. I didn't know 2 weeks. I mean, that's lightning fast.
It's pretty fast. Wolverine, man.
Exactly. And then finally here on the human body edition of Strange But True from user Inner Inspection 6408. Says humans have, on average, just as many hairs on their body as chimpanzees. Human hair is just a lot shorter and finer.
Strange.
I could see that, man. There's a lot of hairy people. A lot.
There are,
And hair grows, man. Once you shave the damn thing, it doesn't matter. It just grows. It don't stop.
Yeah, unfortunately, chimpanzees don't have the frustration of being a male growing up where it stops growing so much here.
Yeah.
More back.
It just grows. Yeah. Yeah, hair grows everywhere, man. They just, guys, girls, it doesn't matter. It's everywhere. Yeah, so I could buy that for sure.
Well, folks, that does it for this segment of Strange But True. But when we come back, we're headed into the final segment of the show. You know what that means. It's time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org, brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you? Texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. We've made it to the fourth and final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. But if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god? No.
Very fitting for Ghostbusters Day.
There you go. I had to line it up just right and get that quiet part where they look at each other and nod. So I had to get right to the no. And there you go.
Perfect pull, Tone. Well, folks, while you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring. Like, subscribe. Put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter, your Instagram, tell a friend, tell your grandma, spread it around. We love you.
And, share it around. Obviously, half the internet was down this morning anyway because of some page. Oh, yeah. Amazon was down and Twitch and so many. Reddit was down. So, share it once those things come back up online.
Yeah,
but in the meantime... At this point in the show, we like to drop a little knowledge on you, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right, kicking things off this day in 218, Elagabalus becomes the Emperor of Rome. And based on the sculpture, he looked like he was 8. But of course, back in those days, you were married at 12, having kids at 13, and an elder by 25. So
yeah, that kid's creepy. He's like he looks like a little bit of Omega from the Bad Batch, just a little bit. I'm Legolas. Take me on a journey.
Moving on, this day in 1191, King Richard I of England arrives at Acre in modern-day Israel to join the siege of Acre during the Third Crusade. We were talking at the beginning of the show of somebody who almost killed in the name of religion, but that's nothing compared to back in, the 1100s where, it was just murder in the name of religion left and right. Doesn't matter which religion it was.
They didn't care.
Oh, no. They just...
Big-ass crown back then. King Dick the Lionheart won. That's right. Some people call me Richard, but today you can call me King Dick the Lionheart. And I am going to join the siege of Acre.
Moving
Look
on.
at my crown.
This day in 1779, Admiral Horatio Nelson and Captain Thomas Hardy on the HMS Foudroyant Foudroy. Yeah, I guess that's right.
You did way better than I would, brother. Foudroyant.
And being that it's Admiral, maybe he thought it was. It's a trap.
Well, Horatio Sands, man, his hat is like that thing's a boat in its own right. It's like the Titanic of hats. And who'd he join? Captain Jeff Hardy on there? Horatio Sands and Jeff Hardy. Okay.
I know. Cool. I couldn't imagine wearing that outfit every day. Oh, well. Moving on, this day in 1789, James Madison introduces a proposed Bill of Rights in the U.S. House of Representatives. Of course, we know that the Bill of Rights was created, it looks like later on in September, but that's what our entire Constitution is based off of.
I like it. Remember when the Bill of Rights was a little cartoon and he would sing?
He's just a
was
Bill.
That Schoolhouse Rocks? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Moving on, this day in 1812, Robert Jenkinson becomes Prime Minister of the United Kingdom after Spencer Perceval's assassination. Fatality. Boy, that took a while. I feel like it was a month ago we were talking about that assassination.
Yeah. Well, the dramatic of the painting, like, oh no, he's down. What did he do? Robert Jenkinson, you're in charge now.
You should do just one man plays based on old-timey painting.
I should. I mean, if you're watching, you're probably just like, that guy is nuts. Because I'm actually staring at a picture and I'm just reacting to that. So
Tony's just verbalizing what we see on the screen in front of him.
Yeah, I'm trying to present it in an entertaining way for you, the listener and viewer.
There you go. Moving on, this day in 1942, Bing Crosby records Silent Night.
I didn't quite catch that.
Dude,
Oh,
Siri
sorry,
just
Siri.
Yeah, you attacked Siri there.
Yeah, so Bing Crosby records Silent Night. Let's see, it is June 8th, which means it took all the way until the Christmas season for that to come out. Now you can record something and have it out the next day. It's crazy.
Yeah. I've got the Christmas song, it's Silent Night. I'm gonna drop it Christmas time. Yeah, it's hot outside.
Moving on, this day in 1948, Texaco Star Theater premieres on NBC TV with Mr. Television Milton Berle made permanent MC in September of the same year. Tony, have you ever heard that Milton Berle had the famously largest schlong in Hollywood?
With that shit-eating grin, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this is my bunny. And you want to go to Rabbit Town? Milton Berle will show you at Rabbit Town.
Let's move on. This day in 1955. Here's a terrible problem to have. LA Dodgers option pitcher and future Baseball Hall of Fame manager Tommy Lasorda to make room on the roster for future Hall of Fame pitcher Sandy Koufax.
Well, they made the right move because they ended up getting Lasorda back as a famous coach, and he's a Hall of Fame Dodger, man. So, yeah, they won, but that does propose a thing. I mean, for pitcher-wise, Tommy Lasorda is more known as a coach than a pitcher, so I think they made the right call, as much as I hate the Dodgers, but, you know.
How do you really feel, Tone?
Yeah, I hate them.
Moving on, this day in 1968, James Earl Ray, alleged assassin of Martin Luther King Jr., is captured. I don't know why it says alleged. I'm pretty sure they found him guilty, right?
Right. So he wouldn't be alleged.
Nope. This day in 1969, Brian Jones is asked to leave the Rolling Stones and is replaced by drummer Charlie Watts, who has been with them, well, since 1969, but, you know, a legend in his own right, for sure.
Yeah. Well, he went on to do other things, I'm sure, but, you know. Sometimes that happens. You're in a famous band and you get booted. Metallica's done that, and just ask Ron McGovney, and if you don't know who he is, he got booted early as the bass player for Cliff Burton. Kind of works out. So
same day in 1969, MLB legend Mickey Mantle gives his farewell retirement speech during Mickey Mantle Day at Yankee Stadium. 60,096 people see number 7 retire. Great baseball player.
Fantastic. It's always the crazy thing when they retire numbers. It's like, it's a shame, you know. It's awesome, but no one else wears it. It's always for them. But yeah, very cool to see.
Moving on, this day in 1978, a Nevada jury rules Howard Hughes's Mormon will is a forgery. I don't know what a Mormon will is and why it has anything to do with Nevada, but that is a thing that happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you don't usually tie Mormon and Nevada together. That's usually Utah. But
Exactly.
yeah, well, I couldn't tell you. If you guys know what a Mormon will is, I mean, chime in below. Call the Fenix Line. Have no idea what that is.
Moving on this day in 1984, Ghostbusters, the American supernatural comedy film directed and produced by Ivan Reitman, starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson, is released.
Are you a god?
What a piece of shit movie, man. I hated
Terrible.
that thing.
You know what I
Hated it.
didn't know is that Gremlins was released the same day.
Really?
Same day, same year.
Both fantastic movies. I know I just said, if you're listening, I did just say Ghostbusters, what a piece of shit movie, but that was sarcasm, folks. Sarcasm. I like how they put American comedy horror film. That Gremlins was terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
It was. Back in the day, it's still kind of creepy. Part 2, that's a straight comedy.
Totally. Well, moving on this day in 1996, a revival of the legendary procession of Lady Godiva, naked through the Coventry of England. Is it a painting that was re-released? Is somebody actually writing naked through England? I need more info.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. Her name was Lady Gaga.
Lady Godiva, I think it was.
Lady Gaga.
All right, and then finally here on this day in history, 2014, Audra McDonald wins a Tony for her portrayal of Billie Holiday in Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill. Obviously, there is a new movie that's out, I want to say on Amazon Prime Video, about Billie Holiday that's supposed to be really good. So, well worth checking out.
Yes, Doc Holliday, yeah.
Let's, before we head out for the day, run down some of today's holidays, where we talk about the things that we like to celebrate. For instance, hey, Tony, it's Best Friends Day.
Hey, best friends.
Hey.
Happy Best Friends Day.
Betty Picnic Day, apparently celebrating anybody named Betty. So,
hey, Betty.
If you're 70, 80, or 90 years old and named Betty, today's your day. Today is Call Your Doctor Day.
No. Yeah. No.
Today is Jelly-Filled Donut Day. Maybe a reason to call your doctor if you overdo it.
Yeah, not a big jelly donut guy.
Tony, it is Upsy Daisy Day, or Oopsie Daisy.
Oopsie Daisy. I'm going to do that when I F up something today. Oopsie Daisy. Oh, I didn't sticker that truck. Oopsie Daisy. It's Best Friends Day and Oopsie Daisy Day, and I'm going to eat a jelly donut.
It is Name Your Poison Day. It is Thomas Paine Day. It is World Oceans Day. World Brain Tumor Day. I don't think you want to be celebrating that. And finally, World Pet Memorial Day. So if you
and Ghostbusters Day.
Exactly. Well, folks, that does it for today's episode. We will be back tomorrow on a Wednesday with Words Are Hard. Enjoy your Tuesday. Happy Ghostbusters Day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Peace!